Welcome to Bangalore for match 3 of the Titan Cup. It's festival time here, and we've got two teams, India and Australia, who will be hoping for a stroke of luck. For either side, it's a must-win game. Having seen Hyderabad and passed through Indore, the Titan Cup arrives in Bangalore. It's a big match for Sachin Tendulkar and for Mark Taylor, still searching for his first one-day century. One batsman Australia will have to watch out for is Rahul Dravid. And Sourav Ganguly is setting the crowds alight too. The Bangalore boys will be in action, led by Anil Kumble. And Venkatesh Prasad is discovering newer ways of dismissing batsmen. Mark Waugh will be the key to Australia. His last innings was a 50. But Steve Waugh will have something to prove. And Stuart Law, something to forget. The man who could well make a difference to the game is Michael Bevan, now in top form. It's a big game, and it's all set to explode. An explosive mixture indeed. South Africa sitting pretty up there with 4 points. Australia and India, no points at all. But by this evening, that situation will have changed. The wicket here at the KSCS Stadium has been known to help batsmen in the past. So let's see how it's going to behave. With a pitch report, here's Geoffrey Boycott.
Well, we've had tremendous amount of rain in Bangalore, and after all that rain, there's a lot of concern about the pitch, as you'd expect. But I think the groundsman's done a magnificent job. I've tested this pitch. It's dry, which you wouldn't expect. I thought it would have sweated with all the rain and the tarpaulin on, but it's not. It's so dry, there are cracks coming, look, everywhere. Really don't worry about these bits of grass, they're nothing. It's so dry that when I try to push a key in, nothing at all. There's no rain got onto this pitch. It's very dry, it's not sweated. I think it'll be a nice medium bounce for the batsmen. I don't think there'll be much turn, maybe just a little bit. And all in all, I'm surprised. I think whoever wins the toss will want to bat first because it is flat, and while it's daylight, yet most of the people would have been expecting this pitch to be a little bit damp. But groundsmen, you've done a magnificent job. This is a good batting strip.
The boycott certificate there for the groundsman, Mr. Kasturi Rangan. Well, let's see who won the toss today. It might just be a good one to win with the two captains. Here's Ravi Shastri.
Up goes the coin. Tails says Mark Taylor. Tails it is. A good toss to win. Looks a beautiful track.
Oh, well, all the tosses so far, we haven't won a game, so it's time to turn a good toss into a good win.
Well, it must be disappointing for you so far. You've not got off to a winning start, but you'd like to get the record straight.
Would it? Yeah, most definitely. We haven't played particularly well so far, but that's the way it goes in cricket. We haven't quite found our mark, so hopefully we can do it today.
Well, no rifle with you to shoot down the Indian top order?
Yeah, we've left out Paul, just on a rotation basis. He's been bowling very well. He's got a bit of a sore toe, so we're leaving him out today. Hopefully he'll be right for next game.
Any other changes?
Yeah, Michael Slater's in for Ricky Ponting.
Well, have a good game, Mark. Well, Sachin, again at the losing end, you see the luck seems to be running out with the toss.
Well, I know, but no excuse. We have to try and win this game.
Mark Waugh off the mark, not very convincing. Javagal Srinath opening the bowling for India. Tremendous atmosphere here, Ravi.
Good afternoon, Ian. Yes, terrific atmosphere. It's electrifying. A very noisy crowd here in Bangalore. Javagal Srinath, he's the local boy, and he's getting a big cheer as he runs in to bowl. It's a nice batting track, nice and hard, and I think Australia have won a good toss, and they'd like to capitalize on that.
Australia making a couple of changes. Paul Rifle is out of the side because of an injured toe. Taylor finding the gap. Outfield may be a touch slow because there's been a lot of rain here. And on that occasion, no sign of the ball being impeded.
He didn't time it as well as he would have liked. Still had enough pace on it to reach the fence. This was a tease for the fielder, hitting it on the up. Mark Taylor for his first boundary. And a long chase for Ajay Jadeja.
use of the feet there by Mark Waugh. Those are the sort of shots where the softer outfield will take its toll. Balls hit across the ground, probably not going to be slowed up too much, but the high shots will pitch like a golf ball on a green. Chance at mid-on. And well taken. So Tendulkar strikes a terrific blow for India, catching Mark Waugh.
Well, just what the doctor ordered as far as the Indians were concerned. They've got the crowd on their back now by picking up this big wicket. Mark Waugh is one of Australia's most consistent batsmen. Here again, coming down the track, looking to chip it over the onside field, not quite timing it. And a good catch by the Indian captain. Running to his right and catching it comfortably in the end. So Australia lose their first wicket with 9 runs on the board. Well, this is a good tight start by the Indians. Both the fast bowlers backing up each other. The fielders are sharp.
All I can say is I'm glad it's Chandrasekhar and not me up there. That's a long way up, about 75 metres. There's a half pull shot, I guess. And that ball running across the practice pitches, it really took off once it got to the practice pitches.
This is a very fast outfield. Mark Taylor didn't time that at all, but still, it reached the fence. The pull shot. And he finds the gap on the onside.
Jeffrey, you had a look at the pitch this morning, and there's been a lot of rain here. In fact, 3 under-19 games have been cancelled in the last 3 or 4 days, so a terrific credit to the curator. And in with a shot a bit early again, Michael Slater, and the end of the 3.5 over, Australia 22 for 1. Michael Slater will be caught by Mongia, and he's chased what could only be classed as a very, very wide delivery. Just impetuous, and I think, Jeffrey, you described it perfectly, a fraction frustrated.
Well, that's a sad end to a very good player. He's a better player than this is Michael Slater, just charging down the pitch and having a sort of one-handed, half-hearted slog at a ball that was nearly a wide. He'll be disappointed with the way of getting out. Everybody gets out at some time, but it's the way he got out that would really upset him. 23 for 2.
To the crease, but he's at the non-striker's end, the batsman crossed. Good straight bowling by the Indians.
If you watch the Michael Slater dismissal, he'll set off down the pitch. Prasad sees him, drops it wider and shorter. Michael can't stop himself. All he had to do is stop his shot, not go after it, and it might even be called a wide, that delivery, in one-day cricket.
And immediately the man comes into play. That was Dravid, and second consecutive maiden for Srinath. Australia 23 for 2. And immediately the cut shot into play, but no run. The Indian fielding is sensational today. And there's a lot of, in fact, he's called for the third umpire. Jadeja just getting the crowd involved there at backward point. And I think that Mark Taylor may have been a bit late with his bat going down. That's what he's called for the third umpire for.
Well, he hit this ball to the best fielder in the Indian side, Ajay Jadeja. He's quick, good throw right on the top, and he just made it, I think. But I think that's sensible from the third umpire. When you've got the opportunity of television replays, then you might as well take them, because you don't want to be making an elementary mistake when the camera could say yes or no, whether it's out or not.
This is sensible cricket from Mark Taylor. The Australians tend to play it that way. If they lose a couple of wickets, they tend to ensure that they don't lose too many more. KSCA Stadium in the heart of Bangalore City. That's beautifully played. You can't have a fielder at third man for that shot, so Taylor will pick up 4. 36 for 2 from 15 overs. That might be close. He doesn't hit. Steve Waugh moving with the shot. The fielder was Javagal Srinath at mid-on.
Srinath got in pretty quickly. But Steve Waugh also got home pretty quickly from the other end.
Rahul Dravid, the fielder there. 16 overs gone. It's 40 for 2.
Oh, boy, Joyce!
Sunil Joshi. We see him here charging around the outfield. No trouble there with it was the left ankle that was taped up in Hyderabad, so he put a lot of pressure on it there.
That's a beautiful shot. Great shot. Found the gap. There was always going to be 4 runs.
Ganguly on that occasion just angling the ball into Steve Waugh's pads, and he is the sort of player who every time you give him an opportunity he puts it away for a boundary.
Good stop with own bowling by Sunil Joshi. The 50 came up in 111 balls for Australia.
Joshi has been excellent off his own bowling, showing no effects of that injury.
Push here for the second. He'll have to hurry. Good throw from Ganguly. Third umpire comes into play, but I just think that Steve Waugh might have made his ground.
Lovely throw from Ganguly from the deep. Lovely accurate throw. Perhaps not as flat as some other fieldsmen from the deep may be able to achieve. Picked it up very well. Good skills there. Just a bit of a fumble, which cost him a bit. You see there a fairly loopy trajectory, but accurate enough and just home, one would dare suggest. So Australia trying to break that 16th consecutive single run. They've done it with a bit of pressure on themselves.
Again, he plays the sweep shot. And a bad misfield by Srinath. This is what can take the pressure off.
And Joshie and Srinath know that. Mark Taylor has been trying to sweep the ball from outside off stump for a while now, so those fieldsmen ought to be aware of that.
Balls it took them to add 52. Steve Waugh, the batsman on strike. Beautiful shot by Steve Waugh. He waited on that, played it late, and found the gap on the offside. And that's a welcome boundary for the Australians.
Often Steve Waugh plays at the length of the line of the ball, and not the length. And a bit like on this occasion here, he saw the line was outside off stump, and you see him in the end being forced to hit it behind point for two reasons. One, that he did hit it very late, but secondly, because there was a man at point on the fence, so he did it very well in the end of his second boundary.
Just short of the fielder at short third man, Venkatesh Prasad. Leg by signal by the umpire. It's 84 for 2. A good call there by Steve Waugh. It was his call. Taylor had played it behind the wicket.
Good piece of placement here. Two fieldsmen behind a point, and Steve Waugh, realising that it's gone between the two, has called his captain through.
In the air, but just wide of the fielder, it covers.
Just seems to be a bit of an acceleration mode for both the Australian batsmen at the moment.
Mongia taking off the bails very quickly, but umpire Bansal has not asked for the third umpire, so obviously he thought that Mongia had taken off the bails without the ball in his hand. We'll take another look.
Bit of stumbling by Mark Taylor, which caused the excitement for the Indian fieldsman and wicketkeeper. And just went past the outside edge. Just happened a bit today for Mark Taylor. Foot well in the air and then just sliding it back now. And no requirement for the third umpire.
Very clever bowling by Tendulkar. He's quite prepared to bowl the off spinners to the left-hander. When Steve Waugh comes on strike, we've seen him attempt the leg cutter. Too short of his 50, the Australian captain. He'll look for the second here, but he won't get it.
It's a funny shot by the Australian captain. Got down on one knee and had to wait for the ball in the end, and just sort of whacked it to the leg side. See, there's waiting, and one of those shots you play at the beach, I would have thought, at Bondi, and hit into the water and let somebody else go and field it into the ocean.
Tendulkar Varying his pace again, bowling slower and slower, making the batsman do the hard work. And now a big cheer from the crowd, anticipating Mark Taylor's 50. He's one short off that landmark, 49 years. In the air, shot of the man at long on, and that's 50 for Mark Taylor. It's been a good determined effort by him after Australia lost 2 early wickets.
Yes, he's done it pretty well. I think you described it perfectly, Ravi. 2 early wickets, that of Mark Waugh and Michael Slater, and Taylor hasn't stayed there. Just embarked on a long couple of years as Australian captain.
It's a very good shot for just a single. 28 overs gone, Australia 1 short of 100. And that brings up the Australian 100.
So 2 men behind point for Steve Waugh, and I actually failed plasticine in kindergarten, so that accounted for the poor drawing of the circles, but both about 30 metres from the bat and both behind point.
Man out there and dropped. So Mark Taylor survives. Rahul Dravid, the man out there at deep mid-wicket, did pretty well to get to it. He covered a lot of territory getting to it, but couldn't quite hang on to it. The ball was just appeared as though it might have just been curving away from him a little. So the Australian captain survives and gets a boundary. Chance at mid-off. Steve Waugh not quite getting it, and it's been taken. Ganguly, the man at mid-off, and that's an excellent piece of bowling by Sunil Joshi. India needing a wicket at that stage, and they've got rid of Steve Waugh. Waugh, generally a good hitter of the ball, but on that occasion, just enough spin to take the ball towards the outside edge of the bat. Well judged by Ganguly, and the crowd are delighted. Waugh gone for 41, it's 115 for 3. Picking the gap nicely. That's well played. Good timing from Mark Taylor.
Well, he threatened to play this shot a number of times, but this time he's got it right off the meat. Exactly where he wants it, straight in the gap. And this one raced away. If he's going to sweep Joshi's going to have to bowl very full. It's very difficult to sweep the ball if it's almost half volley length. You have to make the batsman then play with a straightish bat. Most good sweepers of the ball, they sweep the length, not so much the line.
It's worth a shout. Good, quicker delivery and a wild throw. Bevan will get back. No, he decides against it. I think, not so much because he was worried about him getting to the other end, but I think Mark Taylor had really had to charge at the other end. That's beautifully hit.
That's better. That's Sir Michael Bevan. It gives me the impression in one-day cricket that he picks 2 or 3 spots where he fancies hitting a particular bowler, and he's got those spots in his mind. Short of a length, and he's picked it straight over mid-wicket.
Crowd thought it was a catch. I've done that myself, Ravi, in the crowd. Think a bum ball to catch and go up in the air.
It's a very excitable crowd, this Bangalore crowd here. He's bowled extremely well today for India.
He's hurrying for it. Oh dear, that must hurt someone. Sunil Joshi was really charging in, trying to throw the stumps down. Michael Bevan was charging in, trying to make his ground, and they went into each other. And as I'm sure Ravi will tell you, that really hurts when it happens on a cricket ground like that.
And he must have hurt his ribcage here, because Michael Bevan was charging towards the non-striker's end, and Joshi was running towards him. He will feel this impact.
I'll just watch for Bevan and Joshi. Oops! I just think Bevan came out on top on that contest because he ran away on the side, whereas he was the one who was going into Joshi, who now, sadly, has 2 injuries in 2 games. I got a hand to it. Long on's out anyway.
See, again, bowling straight. If you bowl straight, then the batsman has to hit you straight down the ground.
You wouldn't mind that either.
Anil Kumble is not happy at all. This was not where Taylor wanted to hit the ball. Goes off the keeper's gloves. No way that can be termed as a catch.
He loves that part of the ground, Michael Bevan.
It's twice in 2 overs he's played that shot. And again finding the gap on the onside.
I just wonder too if he's aware that Srinath's not coming off the wicket as quickly as he normally would.
He's picked the spot all right. Enough time to rock back on that back foot and smash it through mid-wicket.
And he's going to get closer. That is superbly placed. There's a man deep just in front of the square. There's a long leg. Wonderfully placed.
A lovely shot by Taylor. He's clipped it beautifully off his toes. And he's found the gap on the onside. 2 men in the deep, having no chance to stop that ball.
Oh, there's going to be trouble. The throw wasn't great, I'm afraid, from Anil Kumble, and Michael Bevan, who's probably the quickest man on both sides, was able to get back in time. Now, that's another example of having a tired opponent, tired partner, rather.
Well, he almost ran 2 runs there, Michael Bevan. As he played this ball to mid-off, Taylor was looking at the ball, while as Bevan was running to his end, but he's so quick that he could get back safely.
And in the air, man, back at square leg, won't get to it. 1 bounce. Bevan looks for 2, but good field placings and good fielding by Dravid at backward square leg. So Bevan goes for 27, Taylor 97. Big crowd, sensational ground. It's the first time that I've seen this ground, and everybody had spoken about the ground, particularly a full house under lights. The sun's setting, so in for a spectacular evening. Taylor drives and a single, but a chance for the stump. Will run out if he'd hit. Tendulkar did it pretty well. Now they get 2. And 99 for Mark Taylor, and if Tendulkar hit the stumps, Jeffrey, I think he might have been stranded on 97.
Well, I think it was worth a shy. Definitely. If he got a chance, he's thrown at the correct end. Oh, dear.
There it is. 100 to the Australian captain. A pat on the back from his batting partner. And after 98 matches, a bat raised in relief. Acknowledgement to a packed house here in Bangalore, and the crowd have been terrific here this evening. Great supporters of cricket. They want India to win, but they've been wonderful supporters of the Australian team. Brilliant, Azharuddin. Michael Bevan heaving himself with that ball. And Azharuddin, the only man inside the circle on the onside.
This is what I was saying about Michael Bevan. He's such a magnificent player late on. Picks his spots so well. They're going to have to field well. He's coming back again. He's so quick. Yeah, there's no chance of running him out. I think you've got to start looking at the Indian fielders for the end that Mark Taylor's running at. Remember, he's had a back operation. He's not quite as fit as probably as some of the others. And even when he is fit, I don't think he's as quick between the wickets as most of the other Australian players. So the Indian fielders should be looking to throw at Mark Taylor's end, because they're going to struggle to run Bevan out.
And he's trying to hide there. Azharuddin is under at mid-wicket. Should take the catch. The Australians will cross, and Azharuddin takes the catch off Tendulkar. Taylor, after a fabulous century, is dismissed trying to hit the ball to the vacant mid-wicket area, and only skied it to Azharuddin, out for a 105.
Well, it's been a very good innings. It has. For a man who's had a back operation, he's not fully fit, you might say. It's early season for him. I think he's played pretty well as Mark Taylor. I think it'll be very pleasing innings from the Australian point of view. 197 for 4.
Nice positive start to Law. Now this will help Bevan because he is a scamper through the wickets, and so is Stuart Law. And after just one delivery, the change since Mark Taylor has left is evident. A risk there, and now there's a chance, but no. The batsmen have gone back to victory. So a good over again for India. A wicket taking over that of Mark Taylor. Australia 201 for 4. Full toss, and Law will be disappointed. Just a single to long on. And India have done very well in the last 4 or 5 overs. Plenty of thinking going through that young man's mind, and plenty of thinking going through those minds. And a wide. So Australia a bit fortunate there. Stuart Law had a genuine cut shot of that, so he's a bit lucky.
This is where we're talking about Tendulkar getting his overs wrong. I think this is a hard ask of any bowler. Prasad's been bowling really well from the pavilion end. And as the sunset comes on India, Prasad's then had to go to the other end and bowl the 49th over.
And, well, the Australians can't hit the ball off the square, so to speak. Tendulkar has a smile because he knows that it's been a good 10 balls.
Well, I don't think he saw that. I think in his follow-through, if you watch his face, he just sort of, oh, is that it? Where is it? Not quite sure. That sort of surprised him.
Outside edge, and Lux of Fortune, just a single though, because Dravid is very fine. But what it does for Australia brings Michael Bevan on strike. And the fieldsmen, the spectators, having trouble following the flight of the ball. Well, talking about that ball, the umpires look like they may change it because nobody from this side of the ground saw the court and bowled. The bowler certainly didn't. And obviously the umpires, having changed the ball once, are concerned that people are finding it difficult to change. Michael Bevan is calling for new gloves. And that is a dirty-looking cricket ball, Jeffrey.
Well, I suppose Venkatesh Prasad could make this as an excuse for missing that caught and ball, couldn't he? Probably to have a look. I didn't see it. The umpires changed the ball and try and get out of it that way.
Bevan sees that straight to cover, and he's out. No ball.
Run him out quick. It's a no ball.
The umpire's got the ball.
What is it?
Well, the umpire, in fact, may have just had his arm up to get the fieldsman to throw him the ball. Well, Michael Bevan not too pleased. Not sure what happened there.
Well, there's a little bit of confusion there. The fielder thought he'd caught Bevan out, but then the umpire seemed to walk over as if he was calling no ball. Anil Kumble got ready to throw it, did it? Yeah, lovely innings. Not one of the best. It's been hard for him, but he's played really well in difficult situation. 204 for 5.
Prasad, and a poor ball and great shot by Ian Healy. The fine leg is up in the circle, and when that field placing is out, you just can't bowl full on leg stump.
Well, the idea was right to get it up in the block hole, but not down leg side. If anything, err on the offside, because at least he has a third man, and he has a deep cover boundary man. So it gives the bowler a bit of protection. Not just a question of bowling up in the block hole, it's which side of the block hole. Off stump or leg stump. Very important to know where your boundary fielders are.
Wide delivery, but the Australians get an edge. The attempted run out misses, and Prasad picks up the delivery, but Stuart Law may have been in a bit of strife. And the end of Prasad's over and his spell. Australia have 1 over to go, and Stuart Law just scrambling through. Prasad's 10 overs. Prasad 10 overs, 3 for 36.
Well, I think the young pace bowler's done very well. Srinath did excellent, but the youngster, remember, he hasn't played that much Test cricket or one-day internationals. I thought Prasad's done very well indeed. They've really kept the Australians down to what India will see as a manageable total. Whatever happens in this last over, the Indian bowlers have really done their stuff. They really have bowled well. They've given their batsmen a great opportunity.
Great shot from the tower from Chandrasekhar. Kumble to Healy, leg side. Healy's strength will look for 2. Law will make it, but they should throw to the wicketkeeper's end, wrong end. And Stuart Law too quick. Joshua the fielder at mid-wicket.
Well, mid-wicket's a favourite area for Ian Healy. He likes to hike it out there, so he's got to be on his toes as Joshi.
Leg stump again. Healy will look for 2. Gets to the fine leg position very quickly because of the practice pitches. So good delivery for Kumble in India. Attempted appeal, he's given him out. Well, Stuart Law just trying to force the pace of the Australians across the line. And Ian Healy not too pleased. Stuart Law neither. I think he might have thought it hit his back.
Well, it gave me the impression that he might have got a little nick on it. I don't know why, just the way he played. It's difficult to tell from television. and we're about 100 yards away, and with all that noise going on, with no chance of knowing. But he's out LBW to Cumbley, 212 for 6.
Down the pitch in the air and backward point, but Healy backing up well. But 2 men behind point doing their job for Cumbley and for Tendulkar. So Australia has 1 ball to face. On 215, Healy the man on 8. Brad Hogg will remain on 3. Not out unless he gets run out. Full toss high in the air. Tendulkar is under it, running from square leg. It's going to be a great catch if he can get to it. Great catch by the Indian skipper. He ran some 55, 60 metres. He called the 2 fieldsmen out. He said it was mine. And Cumbley got away with a waist-high full toss to Ian Healy, thanks to a spectacular running catch by Sachin Tendulkar. And Australia finish on 215.
Well, at this stage of the game, as a batsman, all you can do is hit out and get out. That's exactly what happened. Trying to go for the boundary from a full toss, that's right. You can't blame Ian Healy, he just skied it. And in the end, it was a very fine catch by Tendulkar. Kept his nerve, held on to it. But I think all in all, he will be delighted, and his team. They've come out of that pretty well. And whatever happens from now on, whether Australia bowl well or India bat poorly, the fact is they'll go into the dressing room believing that they've done a splendid job, and I think they have, and that's the total that they'll be delighted to go after, and that they should get. And if they fail to get that, then it will be poor batting or brilliant bowling by Australia.
The Australian innings held together by their captain. His first limited overs century, nearly half the score, 105 out of 215 in his 98th match. Mark Waugh didn't give the start that he would have liked. Michael Slater likewise. In 2 good partnerships with Mark Taylor, with Steve Waugh and Michael Bevan. Michael Bevan, as usual, a delightful innings, and then a bit of a flurry of wickets over the last few overs. So Australia, with 10 extras, finished with 215 for 7. And Prasad and Cumbley, not just because they took the majority of the wickets, they were the 2 best bowlers. Srinath had some problems with his leg or hamstring. Prasad 3, Cumbley 2, and a wicket each to Joshi and Tendulkar. So Australia, after winning the toss and batting yet again, finish on 7 for 215.
Association with
Lovely shot, Tendulkar. And the crowd will go with the full delivery and whipped past mid-on.
Well, that's just what he needs, Tendulkar. A couple of shots hitting the middle of the bat like that. That will get his confidence going. Beautifully played straight down the ground. See, there is a little bit of swing there, but again, the bat just turning in his hand a little bit. In spite of that, he gets the placement right.
Good running by both players. And some interesting stats come out of a lot of cricket, of course. And normally Ian Healy and Mark Taylor are next to each other. Well, they will be now, because Somasundar is on strike. Now, Mark Taylor scored his first limited overs 100 today in his 98th match. Some sort of record. And Ian Healy took 73 innings in Test cricket to make a century, the longest straight ever. Lovely shot by Somasundar, causing Stuart Law to have to dive to end the McGrath over. India 14 for none. outstretched hand of Mark Waugh. And will it reach the boundary? Yes, it will. Desperate lunge. And the second time went under the arms of McGrath. And a boundary for India to complete the Fleming over. 20 for none. And it's just bounced over again, so I'm not sure what Somasunda was doing. He didn't try and knock it away, or he just has better eyesight than we've got.
I don't think he realized where the ball was. Ball had gone. It could so easily have gone back onto those stumps. He was beaten there for pace, playing very late. Just getting his bat down on time there, and so lucky to be still there.
McGrath bowling well at the moment. Short, and he swung. And the umpire hasn't given a decision yet. So he said it's hit his arm. Well, the umpire at the bowler's end looked at the square leg umpire for confirmation.
Well, this could be a very good decision from Subrata Porel. The ball really didn't go quickly to Ian Healy. So one of the reasons for that could be because it didn't come off the bat. Yes, a very good decision. It's off the shoulder. Never easy for the umpire to judge from that distance. But he's done a good job here.
That's gone for 4. Just the width Tendulkar was looking for, and he got it.
Well, that was a high-quality shot. Wasn't that much a width, just enough for a very good player who got quickly into position on the back foot. And think of a lot of players that might not have got into position quick enough, just played it down, used the pace of the ball. And that's what Sachin Tendulkar needs, is to pick his shots a little more carefully. And he tried in the test match against Australia to play a lot of shots too soon, and in the first one-day match.
He likes it in that area. Somasunda's going to struggle. He's there.
Well, I thought that was a tight run. I thought a really good throw would have done Somasunda. I think the throw would have been as accurate as Michael Slater would have liked. I mean, it's fairly flat, but it's wide. It's that little bit of width just allows the batsman to get home.
Ball down. He's always on the cards. Somasunda was struggling against McGrath, and he's now produced a knockout blow. India lose their first wicket.
And it really beat him all ends up. He might have got a little inside edge. He's sort of trying to say that he did, but it was a classic delivery. 30 for 1, India.
It's gone for 4. The shot Rahul Dravid plays so well.
Well, it's not only a good straight drive, but it was an important shot because it just broke the shackles a bit. Australia keeping it very tight and straight like India's opening bowlers did, and making the batsmen work really hard for runs. So it just allowed the batsmen to get that scoreboard ticking over again. Oh, that's a good shout. That's a good shout. I thought it was. He's got him. They fully deserved that. Certainly Australia have deserved a second wicket, as I was saying. That ball coming back, and as soon as it hit him, it was a bit straighter than the ball before. And I think that was a good decision. There's no problem about the height. That hit him on the knee roll. It just came back a little bit, but it was certainly very much in line. LBW for 6, 41 for 2.
So India loses second wicket, 41 for 2. Mohammad Azharuddin comes out to replace Rahul Dravid.
Well, it was much straighter than the ball before it was going down. Just getting back a fraction. I think it was a good shout. He didn't get very far. Just got a little stuck on the crease there. Knee's not forward, is it? It's straight leg.
Slow one, he picked it up well. It's a single down to third man. It's 42 for 2 from 15.
Azharuddin has now been given out. So 2 LBWs in a row, this time the decision given by umpire Bansal.
And Mohammad Azharuddin is not happy at all. This game suddenly changing. He's not amused. Big blow this for India to lose their most experienced player. This one came back a long way. May just have hit middle and leg. I think the only problem Azhar might have had was if he got any bat on that, but it didn't look as if he got any bat. And India lose their third wicket. 42 runs on the board.
Sourav Ganguly is the new batsman. Well, a peacemaking move being made here at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Mohammad Azharuddin has been called out to try and placate the crowd. But really, I can't see any reason why they can't play cricket at the moment, because there's very little rubbish on the ground. There's not much stuff being thrown over the fence. And really, if they got on and played cricket, and if a couple of boundaries were hit, the crowd would very quickly forget about it and get on with watching cricket.
And not only is Mohammad Azharuddin out there, now you have the match referee going out to the middle, John Reid, going to have a chat with the two umpires. First having a chat with the Australian captain. I think you're right, Ian. If they start play now, and you know, if a couple of boundaries go, or if there's a boundary scored, the crowd will settle down in their seats, and there shouldn't be any problems. Problems will be there if India suddenly lose a couple of wickets straight away.
Well, I think it's a problem that the Australians shouldn't mind anyhow. If they can get a couple of wickets, that should please them. But really, there's not much rubbish left on the ground. The young lads in the white outfits have done a good job in getting the ground clear. There's only the odd bottle and cushion being thrown over the fence. And when I say bottle, I'm talking plastic water bottles. As far as I can see, there's only been one glass bottle go on the ground. That's been cleared up. And really, it's time to get on and play cricket.
I think it's very important now that the officials leave the field. Let the players be out there in the middle. There are too many officials and administrators there. Even if they're there on the field, they should be behind the boundary line, and the match should start as quickly as possible. It's still a very good contest, this. Australia just may have their nose in front at the moment, having picked up 3 important wickets.
That'll be away for a boundary.
Well, that gets the crowd to life. This delivery from Gillespie angle towards the ribcage of the left-hander. Ganguly getting nicely outside it.
Tendulkar looking for two. And they should get it. Oh, he's left his partner for dead. And Tendulkar should be cranky with himself. That was hopeless running between wickets. They really should have been two there. Once there was a misfield, Tendulkar went a long way down, and why Ganguly I'll never know, because he was going to get home easily.
They never run on a misfield, and this is a big blow for India, because there was always a second run here. If Tendulkar had gone all the way, there would have been a run, but he called Ganguly, and then he had to go back, and by that time it was too late. Ian Healy whipping off the bails. Good throw in the end from McGrath. 47 for 4 India.
And Fleming. And India have really handed the initiative to Australia here. The Australians, as I said, there's a lot more sparkle about their play. They've got a terrific bonus here from the Indian captain. He's had a mental block.
Well, there was always a second run here once Glenn McGrath misfielded this. Well, the problem here was Tendulkar began to go. He called Ganguly and then sent him back. And by that time, it was too late. Bad misunderstanding, and Tendulkar cranky with himself. Every right to be.
Seamers have done. Oh, that's a good shot. Nice, juicy full toss. And he's put it away very neatly. One of the few bat balls that India have had in the last 3/4 of an hour when they've been under pressure and losing wickets.
Low full toss from Fleming, and it was the placement that counted. You see him just open the face there to get it away from the man at cover. Glided it past, but it had enough oomph on it to go to the boundary. A desperate Slater unable to stop it at mid-off. Outside the off stump and a boundary. Yes, it is. Very good placement again. So the two boundaries have come in the last 2 overs. He took a very good placement.
Well, he played this sort of shot earlier on, and he lets the ball come on to him, uses the pace, and plays it behind square. Beautiful shot.
That's beautifully played. He does hit the ball hard, Jadeja, but in between, he slips in a few very delicate shots too.
There's a delicate touch there from Jadeja, realising that all he had to do was just make sure he got the bat on it. And he kept it very fine. Excellent leg glance.
So shot he plays very well. He's picked his spot. He knows that if he can get enough bat on it, then it's bound to be 4 runs there. All of a sudden, his crowd's changed. Would you believe? He almost had a small riot here. That is well timed and beautifully stopped. Lots of good cricket all around. 28 overs gone, 92 for 4. They'll get 2 quite easily here. Brings up 50 of the partnership in 79 balls. I think there's greater significance than that number because India were really struggling when the two came together. 47 for 4 when Sourav Ganguly was run out. Since then, they've put on 51. I just wonder how much
Tendulkar has been thinking about that Ganguly dismissal.
Wouldn't be thinking about it at all now. Maybe that was a reminder, the fumble in the outfield. Might sound a little strange when I talk about a bowler not wanting the ball to come out very quickly. But I think Steve Waugh's idea is on the slower pitches that the slower the ball comes off, the more work the batsman's got to do. He's got that ball way back in the palm of his hand. It's only just revolving.
That was a very, very confident appeal from Steve Waugh. He actually bent down low to appeal. It was a great amount of intensity in that appeal. There still is, as 100 comes up on the board. He's got a point of view on that. 30 overs gone, 100 for 4. So ball to go. Played very fine. One very good reason why you shouldn't bowl a no ball in the over. You get an extra ball, and invariably the batsman will put it away for 4 runs like that. 32 overs gone. That's 112 for 4.
Tension starting to come back into this match. Crowd once again starting to get back into it now, with Tendulkar starting to find some form. Steve Waugh is not a happy man out in the middle. It's a case of war and peace here at the moment. Not sure the umpire.
Tendulkar settled that. The difference now is that Tendulkar is starting to pick the gaps. That is 4 more behind square for Sachin Tendulkar.
Very good shot from Sachin Tendulkar, realising if you sweep from outside off stump it'll go square. That means he'll keep it away from the man at deep backward square leg and reach the boundary. So I'm not sure that umpire Bansal is having much effect in pacifying Steve Waugh. He's a quiet chat to him, but I don't think he's made Steve Waugh see his side of the argument yet.
Four back down the wicket, prepared to come down and hit the ball in the air. Bradley Holt just wondering what might have been.
Well, we saw in Australia's innings, I think it was Prasad who had a problem seeing the ball hit back at him. I don't think there's any way in the wide world that Brad Holt would have caught this anyhow.
Javanila to hurry here, and McGrath's in the way, and Jadeja is stranded. And Steve Waugh breaks the stumps. Up goes the umpire's finger. He's been given out, run out. A sad end to a fine innings from Jadeja.
Well, Jadeja just wondering whether he'll be called back on this occasion. McGrath looks like he's hurt himself. So Jadeja just turning around, just wondering whether he will be called back. But if he's not being called by Mark Taylor, then you can assume that it was a legitimate clash. Ball went to mid-on. The underarm throw, and Jadeja, for some reason, on that side of the pitch. Not sure why he crossed the pitch. As drinks come out, Jadeja leaves the field. A very good partnership with his captain. India 126 for 5.
Wanting the single here, he'll have to hurry. Tendulkar very quick to get off the blocks there.
Two things occur here. One is that Tendulkar is a very good runner between wickets, but also Mongia, following his 150 in the Test match, is in very good form. Lovely soft hands.
Flicked away by Mongia. This is a useful shot. Big chase for Slater. The big dive. And the ball might just cross the fence. It does. That should be 4 runs. Slater says he doesn't know. But you will soon see, when you see it again on the replay, that that is a boundary.
Michael Slater saying, look, I don't know. And the umpire does have the technology of the third umpire. Slater does well there, then loses it. That's his problem. He had plenty of time, but then lost it. Realised he was spinning back, did wonderfully well, and that's 4.
And he asked for the third umpire. Again, a good piece of fielding by Steve Waugh. Very quick to get rid of that ball there and hit the stumps on the full. I think Tendulkar might just be in.
Not too much concern by Steve Waugh. He's gone back to his position. Fleming is walking back to his mark. And not too much concern by Tendulkar either. Brilliant piece of fielding. And well in. Not a problem there. So the umpire calling for the third umpire on that occasion. And not for the fielding situation in that last over.
Huge roar from the crowd. This might just beat the man, the third man. Yes, it does. A quite deliberate shot there from Mongia, opening the face of the blade.
The man at third man is a bit square, actually. There is a gully, so he doesn't have to be quite as square as he is. He could, in fact, be a little bit finer around about that spot.
And he's got it. So Steve Waugh has done the trick for Australia.
Well, I thought that was an extraordinary stroke in the circumstances. India got themselves back in a good position where the match was nicely balanced. And he goes for the big hit with a man out on the boundary, so he has to clear the man for 6 or it's out. And that's precisely what happened. I thought it was a bad thinking shot when they need to run a ball. 157 for 6.
Sunil Joshi will be at the non-striker's end, the batsman having crossed on that catch. Oh, that's beautifully placed. Most distinct from Mongia hitting it straight down the field from stroke. That was perfectly placed by Tendulkar.
Yes, I rather think Tendulkar knew exactly where the gap was, and he just tried to flip it behind a square leg. Didn't try to hit it over the top for 6 like Nayan Mongia, just flipped it in the vacant space.
That's well run. Once again, Steve Waugh hits. That's 3 out of 3. It's 163 for 6. Stump out of the ground. Joshi getting just too far across there. So once again, Damien Fleming playing a big part in an Australia-India contest.
Well, that has made a dent in India's chances. The Mongia wicket given away, and then Josie Ball behind his legs getting too far over, and suddenly 2 wickets have gone quite cheaply and quickly. 164 for 7, India.
Well, this will be interesting to see Javagal Srinath's tactics here, because he is generally a hitter. Well, that's pretty close, yes. Steve Waugh has got the LBW that really matters. He was cranky about not getting one earlier on, but he's got the one that really matters, Sachin Tendulkar.
Well, I don't think there's a lot of doubt about the delivery that got Tendulkar out. It's a very full, almost hit him full toss on the boot, I think. And he's playing it a little bit square. No, it's hit him on the back leg in front. It's fairly full, under the knee roll. And disappointment, I'm sure, when India have just got so near. But I don't think he can complain about the decision. 164 for 8.
Don't miss the exciting day's play from the Titan Cup, only on...
Oh, that's beautifully hit. That's a big one.
Well, that was hit with a lot of power, and it was also hit straight, which I think is a much more sensible shot than head up and hiking it to mid-wicket.
Oh, he's got a touch on it. Just enough to get it away from Healy.
Well, after one great delivery outside off stump by Gillespie, he's suddenly given them a gift ball, probably going for the Yorker over pitch, and easily glanced to fine leg.
Have been hit. The umpire has called for a replay. Mark Taylor, the thrower.
Well, Srinath was very quick out of the blocks. I think he probably made it. But the wicketkeeper backed up really well here because it hit the stumps. And cannoned off, and Ian Healy backed up that ball very well and saved another run.
.193 for 8. Well, Srinath and Kumble, the 2 local boys, doing a good job for India. Raised the hopes. 164 for 8. It looked as though the game was over. Now it's Glenn McGrath looking to do something for Australia from the pavilion end. Kumble has picked a gap in the outfield. It won't be 4. In fact, it was Kumble who was there near the end in Mumbai when it looked as though India might get up. Then McGrath looking to wipe the ball, and that's got grandmother up out of the chair. Mother is looking distinctly nervous.
Well, you would think from Australia's point of view that Glenn McGrath would be the key bowler. He's been in these situations quite a few times. He's much more experienced than young Gillespie.
Kumble is doing a good job because he's making sure that he's not putting himself at risk. Now Australia probably feel that they've got a chance of getting a wicket with Srinath on strike, because he is prepared to have a bit of a swing.
Now this will be interesting. Ian Healy, very smart campaigner, been around a long time, seen a lot of cricket, giving some advice to McGrath. He sees a lot from behind the stumps. And just saying to McGrath, does he want him to bowl length or to bowl full? I think he might tell him to bowl length about off stump, see how Srinath plays.
32 off 25 balls, this partnership. He's gone for the Yorker. Michael Bevan is out in the deep. So maybe Srinath deciding that McGrath might be the most difficult of the bowlers to slam to the boundary or over the boundary. Perhaps he'll have a go at the other end. That'll help Australia's cause, a dot ball. So it's 18 off 19 balls now for India to win, with 2 wickets in hand. Once again, these two teams providing a dramatic contest.
The big problem for India is if one of these batsmen gets out. Prasad is not the best number 11 in world cricket.
That's well played. Srinath retains the strike, 199 for 8. Well, it's now 17 from 18 balls. Big decision here for Mark Taylor. Does he bowl Gillespie at this stage, or does he bowl Steve Waugh? I think Steve Waugh might be asking for the ball and saying, listen, give it to me now, I reckon I can get you a wicket. Anyhow, whatever the conversation, the captain has decided that it's got to be Jason Gillespie now. So that means that if the game goes the full distance, it'll be Gillespie this over, McGrath the next, and then Steve Waugh. So this is a testing time for Jason Gillespie. He's bowled a lot better tonight. He's bowled his 9 overs, 1 for 35 with 1 maiden for Jason Gillespie. And just clears Steve Waugh's head, and it's a boundary. It's brought up to 200 and raised India's hopes.
Well, that was some shot. That was banged in with a bit of pace, and he was onto it like a flash and whacked it over the top. And the crowd have gone absolutely wild.
(13 off 17). That's put the equation in India's favour, remembering that they only have 2 wickets in hand. So the 2 local boys doing a terrific job. 39 off 31, this partnership. Srinath getting plenty of advice from Kumble. Anil Kumble is the captain of Karnataka, so he's probably in the right position to give a bit of advice to his teammate. He likes those short ones, Srinath. Fleming in the deep.
Yes, captain of Karnataka is in charge. Kumble telling Srinath not coming for two. He's trying to keep Srinath a little cool. He's the guy that can strike the boundaries, but he's got to keep a cool head, and Kumble knows that. Kumble's a very shrewd, experienced operator. He's got a good cricket brain, and he's trying to keep Srinath just under a little bit of control.
12 off 15. Slater at fine leg. Once again, Kumble just giving the sign to Srinath. Keep it cool. I'm sure it's not a matter of don't try and belt one to the boundary, but just make sure that you've got the odds in your favour when you do try and belt one. If it's not where you want it, well, then you just push the single. That's the idea. It's very easy when you're sitting back in the pavilion or up in the commentary box, and you've got perspiration dripping off your nose out in the middle. The brain sometimes disappears. Srinath will be looking for two. Slater, and he slips.
Well, he's not often a fielder slips, and he gets a roar of approval from the crowd. Well, that's what Michael Slater got here in this unfortunate slip. There's nothing he could do about it as he slowed down. The heels went from under him.
Well, it was a gamble by Mark Taylor. He had the choice of Steve Waugh or Gillespie. He opted for Gillespie. Now it's down to 9 with 13 balls. McGrath at third man. It's 8 off 12 balls. Well, they've been through every emotion tonight, this crowd. They've been in a joyful mood, and they've been angry, and at the moment they believe that they're looking at quite an amazing Indian victory. At 164 for 8, they seem to be out of the game, but a 44-run partnership between the two local boys, and he's picked the gap here, and it's gone through. Well, that makes it fairly comfortable now.
Well, there's absolute pandemonium here. I think Stuart Lord thought he might have saved that. You see he's gaining on the ball, and then he dives and he gets away from him. I think that's 2 runs gone astray there for Australia. They've got to be thinking, Australia, get a wicket, get Prasad in, and we can get 2. That's what they've got to be thinking. Get one of them out, bowl a wicket-taking delivery, and Prasad shouldn't be too much trouble.
Waugh is at fine leg. So it's down to 3 runs now. Taylor has brought an extra man into the circle. So there are 4 on the offside trying to save the single, and 2 on the onside. Australia somehow or other got to save a couple of singles, and really, I think the only thing that's going to save them now is a wicket. In fact, Mark Taylor is pushing Brad Hogg into a short cover position. Now, in fact, he's going behind there now, short gully, to try and save the singles. I think he's probably got to push Steve Waring a touch at mid-wicket as well, save the single. Kumble has remained very cool in this situation, and Srinath has provided the hitting. That's the 50 partnership. I don't think anybody cares about the partnership now.
No, and I think that India are really level with Australia's score, because there was a boundary stop there that I think the match referee is going to look at the end of the game, and India don't know it. They think they need 2 runs to win. I think they only need 1, actually.
Terrific save, Michael Bevan. McGrath went wide on the crease, trying to angle a Yorker in there, just in the last-ditch hope of knocking the stumps out of the ground. Michael Bevan made a terrific save.
Yeah, I think that was smart bowling by McGrath, because he's seen Kumble shoveling the ball to the onside all the time. Tried for the Yorker, fairly straightish, off in the middle.
He's found the gap. India are home. Or maybe India have got rid of the hoodoo. Maybe they've got the monkey off their back.
Oh, what a fantastic achievement by these 2 players. Srinath and Kumble have done what seemed the impossible. They've got their team out of jail and given India the most unlikeliest of wins.
Well, Mark Taylor said he was sick of winning tosses and not winning matches. It's happened to him again, as he congratulates Kumble, who did keep a very cool head in that situation. And the Kumble family, well, I'm not sure that they can believe it has happened just yet, but it'll sink in. India winning by 2 wickets with 7 balls to spare after being 164 for 8 and seeming to have failed in another run chase. Srinath and Kumble, the 2 local boys, have got them home. Srinath 30 off 23 balls, and that's a very good hitting job. Kumble played his part, 16 off 19 balls. The partnership was worth 52 off 40 balls, and that is the partnership that has got India home. You see there the fall of wickets. Last 2 wickets falling at 164, and at 164 for 8 they seem to be dead in the water. Srinath and Kumble had belief, had faith, and batted well. Well, Australia, it was an improved bowling performance from them, but in the end it wasn't good enough to get them the 2 points. Now they've slipped to the bottom of the ladder in this Titan Cup competition, and they really have a bit of work to do, the Australians. So once again, the crowd in Bangalore will go home happy, just as they did in the quarter-final, India versus Pakistan in the World Cup. So it looks like it's another hour-and-a-half trip back to the hotel with the people partying in the streets. Glenn McGrath, 1 for 27, he bowled pretty well. Fleming 2 for 39. It was a much improved performance, but in the end it wasn't quite good enough for Australia.
What a match. Indeed, this crowd has seen it all. We've seen all shades of emotion in this crowd here today. Passion, anger, and now absolutely unbridled joy. Indeed, it's been a great match this. We've seen some wonderful performances, the batting of Mark Taylor, the batting of Sachin Tendulkar, and finally the quite unbelievable 9th wicket partnership between the two local boys, Srinath and Kumble. It's going to be a bit of a task deciding who the man of the match is going to be, but we're going to find out very soon as we approach the presentation ceremony for this match.
The man who helped India win the match, the captain of India, Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin, congratulations. A tough one in the end for you sitting in the change rooms.
Very tough. Actually, I would give credit to Srinath and Kumble. They really batted like champions.
What about yourself, Sachin? You lost wickets around you. It was pretty important that you stayed there for as long as you could.
It was hard to concentrate, but what I had decided just to stay till the end and, you know, carry on till the 45th over, and then to decide whether to go for big hits or not. But